Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Motivational speaker, the comeback coach, and goal crusher Joe Rivera brings you inspiring leaders, incredible stories, and valuable lessons on how you can change, grow, and reforge your life. Now, here's your host, Joe Rivera.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Reforge Your Life Show. I'm your host, Joe Rivera. And here at the Reforge Your Life Show, we like to show you that the comeback is more than possible. And today, I'm super hyped about the guests I'm bringing onto the show. Y'all gonna love the energy, the story. Man, he's a speaker, author, and a results strategist. Dr. Kadri, welcome to the show, brother. I've been waiting for this one, man.
I'm glad to be here, man. I've been waiting for it too. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Man, I'm blessed to have you here. I'm blessed that we're able to share this platform together, and I'm grateful for it, man. God is good, brother.
That's right.
So listen, man, I've heard your story, and I definitely can't tell your story the way you can. Nobody can. And I think the audience definitely deserves to hear it. And I'd love for you to share your strength and hope with them, man.
Great. Glad to be here. Well, my basic thing is that my name is Dr. Kadri, like you said. I'm a double doctorate in metaphysics. That's philosophy, mindset strategist. I work with entrepreneurs, business professionals, salespeople, people in the mindset strategy field, because everything is mind. Everything is a result of something, and everything starts with the mind. That's what I like to drop right away. Everything is a result of something.
Right. That's right. The mind is the most powerful tool. We were blessed it. And it's a gift God gave us, and we gotta know how to utilize it to be able to create our destiny 1,000%. But I love, to hear your story of how you got to where you are. I mean, the adversity that you had to overcome and all that other good stuff, man.
Well, great. Well, that's a long story, but I can make it short for the sake of this wonderful, being a guest on this wonderful podcast, man. I'll keep it real, come straight from the hip. I have no fluff. I was born and raised in Chicago. And
keep it real here, brother.
Keep it real, bro.
Keep it 100, brother. That's the idea we want to do here.
Hey, listen, years ago I had we had a conference call, weekly conference call. It was called Lead on the Line. Well, there was no BS, because I was taught that BS ain't nothing but chewed up grass. I was in a boxing ring one day in the gym, and I don't want to box. I don't want to spar with this guy this day. And I made an excuse. And the coach looked at me. He said, BS. He said, B dash ain't nothing but chewed up grass. I never forgot that over 30 years ago. Ain't nothing but chewed up grass. Don't be BS and come with it real. Well, I have a real story for you as far as my time in Chicago. I was growing up in the Windy City, in the ghetto, and so-called underprivileged. See, I never believed I was underprivileged. I never believed that. I always believed that I can make a way regardless. So here's what happened. I was about 13. I decided to move to California. I lived in a house with 13 people in a 2-bedroom flat in Chicago. My mom kept the house squeaky clean. Believe it or not, it smelled like Clorox bleach. We had respect, and she put that belt on us if she had to in those days to make sure we maintained that respect. It's called abuse these days. It was called ass whooping in those days. And so anyway, to make a long story short, but my aunt had moved to California years before, and my sister went a year before that, after that. And I decided I was going to California, 13-year-old boy. Now watch this story. I told everybody on the block in Chicago that I'm going to California. In a house of 13 kids, parents separated. And so after everybody decided he's going to California, yeah. After months passed, my sister didn't have the means to bring me. So my mom said she lied. So people on the block would say, you ain't going nowhere, boy. Yeah, right. Yeah, the crabs in a barrel thing. I'm going to California. 13, 14 years old. I kept saying it. And so 3 months passed. School's going to start. My mom said, you're not going to California. She lied to you. I said, I'm going to California. I had 2 pair of pants, 1 pair of shoes, 2 pair of pants, underwear, and 2 shirts. I'm going to California. People said, how? You're 14 years old. She lied to you. 13 kids in the house. It ain't happening. I'm going to California. Well, I was going to school that Monday. They thought. I never gave up hope. My brother walked in that weekend, that Friday. Check this out. He said to me, Me and my young wife, we decided to move to California. We're driving Monday. You go with us. Dig that. That's the result on fire. I stuck with it and I got it. That was 40 years ago. I got it. In other words, I put my mind to something. I didn't let it go, and it was created for me. Take that the way you want to take it. That's a true story. That's getting results by sticking to it and getting through it. I got it.
So, Doc, man, I mean, man, it's amazing how the mind, when you utilize it and you use that visualization to see where you want to be, man, you could do anything you put your mind to. I'm curious though, coming from Chicago and growing up in the hood, and I see where it ended up in California, and how powerful your mind and visualization was. What were the challenges though, coming up and growing up in the hood and coming from Chicago, and before you got to California, and or maybe after you got there? What were some challenges that you had to overcome?
Oh man, the challenges were mountains of challenges. Being raised in a family in that time in Chicago, where there are 13 people. Okay, you have to really, really watch what you eat, what you do, when you do it. The neighborhood wasn't the safest neighborhood. Okay, there's a lot of doubt. There are a lot of people telling you what you can't do because they can't do it. Being a lot of people are beat down by society and say they can't do something. You'll never be anything but this. You'll never do anything but that. Being involved in gangs, getting in trouble with the law, and things like that when I was a youngster, when I was a juvenile, getting in trouble and all that. My mother always taught me the golden rules, but sometimes the golden rules don't stick in. Okay? Sometimes you want to get yours any way you can get yours. And so early in my life, I had trouble. I had to dealing with so many siblings, parents separated, very good parents, very good people, but they just didn't work as a marriage. So that affected the kids. That affected your mindset and everything. It affects how you think about yourself. And so when I came to California, I lived with my sister, and I got really, really loose because the restraints of the father not being there kind of come around. He stayed in our lives, and the mother not there. Now I'm really, really loose. Then I really got in trouble. Went to high school, started cutting classes, started doing a yada, 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 yada. Getting involved in lightweight drugs and all that kind of stuff. Well, I saw that my life.
What kind of drugs did you say? I didn't hear that.
Get involved in drugs, like it was just marijuana, light stuff, nothing. I never did anything heavy or nothing like that, but it doesn't matter. I overdid it, and I got into a lot of fights. I took kung fu and all that, and things weren't going right. And so finally what happened was I got locked up for getting into it with a guy, and I actually popped the guy in the leg. Okay, this guy tried to take what I had. We were doing a little drug deal, a little weed, trading weed and hash, and the guy decided he wasn't going to give me mine. So I actually took a pistol I had. I was 18-year-old boy, shot the guy in the leg. And I laughed. It was goofy. I laughed. It was goofy. The guy wasn't hurt. He didn't bleed out, nothing like that. And because of the barrier of who I was and who he was, instead of me going to juvenile, instead of me being sentenced something like a year, they gave me actually 4 years. Wow. Actually 4 years, and I was juvenile. And the guy wasn't hurt, nothing like that. Anyway, long story short, that time of life was very, very rough. Here I am, I'm locked up. I'm in a community-like jail, and I'm locked up. And during that time, instead of getting deeper into that mindset, I began to study, read, study, and read. When I came home a few years later, then I started working on self-development. I read hundreds of books, even thousands of books. I got involved in University of Metaphysics, where I got my double doctorate in metaphysical philosophy. Okay. From that point, I became a speaker and a coach. I started to coach people in mindset development. See, we all make mistakes. We're not our mistakes. We all make mistakes. Some of us pay for them in different ways. I don't want to get into the aspects of that mistake, why I paid that way. I don't want to get into that because that's neither here nor there. But I did pay a certain way. But I was able to learn from that mistake and reforge to take my life to a different direction, to move to a different direction. I was able to establish myself as a speaker, writer, coach. I began to get great endorsement like from Jim Rohn, share the stage with Mark Victor Hansen and some great people in the industry. And by going through that, it taught me that what happened to me was necessary for my development, but it brought me through something that gave me a strength that I wouldn't trade for nothing in the world. Here's why I wouldn't trade it. That path brought me to where I am today. If it wasn't for that happening to me, no telling where I'd be today. Now my life is where I know where I'm going. I know how to get there. And I got great people that help me go even further.
That's right.
That's a short story of Tamir Kadri and how I became Dr. Kadri. Dr. Kadri didn't grow overnight. I went through some stuff. I was abused sexually as a child. Okay, repeatedly. I was one of those kind of people that was said I wouldn't be enough. I wasn't good enough. I was one of those people that was talked about and put down, and was belittled even by family members. Okay, I was abused by even family members, sexually abused. So I've had things happen to me, but you wouldn't know that because it's not what happened to you; it's how you respond.
Absolutely.
Mindset.
Absolutely. Our past doesn't define us. It helps catapult us into our future. And I believe that, you know, your past story, as long as you don't believe the story that you're telling yourself, it doesn't have to dictate your future, but you could utilize overcoming the past and the challenges that you've gone through to be able to shape your future, because those challenges that you overcome, that's the growth, right? That's the magic of growth, is learning from the past. And you said that you learned from your past mistakes. Man, there's a lot to unpack there. And I'm curious though, because this is something that a lot of people out there are ashamed to talk about. And you just mentioned it. And I think it's important for some listeners that may be going through it, or they might know someone that's going through it. But sexual abuse as a child could be challenging. And there's people who know how to overcome that. So I'm curious, you know, before the mindset shift happened, I know you mentioned, you know, I'm not good enough popping up into your head as a story you told yourself. What was some of the other beliefs that you had from, you know, going to jail, being sexually abused, before you started reading the books and going into the personal development world? What was that world like?
That world was like this. First of all, I want to say it to people. You don't have to be a criminal to go to jail. All you got to do is do the wrong thing at the wrong time. That's it. You ain't got to be, don't tell yourself, I'm not no. You ain't got to be a criminal to go to jail. I was not a criminal. Never have been. That's over 40 years ago. But I did the wrong thing. You could do the wrong thing now, why did I do that? Why we were two goofy kids smoking weed or whatever, getting high, laughing at each other, doing something stupid. Okay, why? How do you do something like that? Here's how you do it. Because there's something in your mind that's telling you, I need to get back. Here's what I saw when I was a kid. I saw people doing that kind of stuff when I was a kid. So I need to get back. Okay, I was totally legal. Even I had no record or nothing like that. I just happened to have something in my hand one day. A guy gave me, we laughed about it, and we like goofy kids laughed. But I know there's something deeper than that. That couldn't have happened if that wasn't in my mind, if I hadn't saw those things, if I wasn't abused. The only way to get back somebody hurting you is hurt them any way you can. Although it seems to be a minor abuse, there's no death, there's no maiming and nothing like that. Don't matter. The guy was shot in the leg, okay? And that's come from a background of abuse, a background of violence, and thinking the only way to solve something is by taking this measure. And it happens to be somebody of, we're different. I'm black, he's white. Dig that, okay? So that played a part in how I was treated, which is another story. I was treated differently because most, in those days, guys my age wouldn't get that, especially with something like that. That's a misdemeanor. It really is, okay? There was nothing illegal about it, so that affected me too. That really got me. How can I be treated like that when I know other people in the same area would go to here or juvenile hall or whatever? Why do they treat me like that? Why do they be so hard on me, someone so clean? That really messed with my head. It really messed with me. And I said, I'm not that. That really got me. But it taught me what was it? What was the story you were telling yourself in that moment? How did it mess with your head? Here's how it messed with my head. It told me further that I am not good enough. I'm not worthy. Not worthy. I didn't make it so much about race as it was about me. It said I wasn't worthy. I wasn't good enough. I would not achieve my dreams. I'm not good enough. That's what it told me. And I told myself, BS, I am good enough. I can achieve my goals and dreams. And then I started to reforge myself. Go ahead.
So before you told yourself the opposite of the story, and you were telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, what was life like in that moment? What was when you were telling yourself that story? What was it doing to you?
Oh, I was going through it. I had this pain inside of me, the pain of not being free, the pain of not being to move where I want to move. It was really taking me. It really moved me forward. To be honest with you, that pain really moved me forward. It wasn't a good feeling, but it made me go through and seek answers. I would seek answers. I would talk to older guys that were there, that had been locked up, that were quote unquote criminals repeatedly, that began to change their life. They pointed me toward books and ideas and philosophies and art processes to change my life. And so I began to study. It made me study. It made me study hundreds of books. It made me get involved with different philosophies and Buddhism, Islam, self-help. I began to study things like a magnet. I became known as a little professor. People would follow me and talk to me and wonder, how do I get along here? I remember one of the ladies that ran the institution, she said, come here, let me talk to you. She said, something different about you. You're not a criminal. You don't belong here. You ain't coming back. True, that was over 40 years ago. I'm not. So it made me forge my path. I don't know where that strength came from, but all that pain, it drove me to seek the gain. So in the pain, I found the jewel. See, a lot of people, they avoid the pain. That's fine to avoid the pain, but they don't realize that the goal you're seeking is in the crap you're going through. The goal you're seeking, instead of avoiding that stuff, is if it's always in your face, there's something to learn from. If you go through the crap, believe me, you'll find the gold. Keep going through it. You'll find the gold. That's the key.
Man, that's so powerful. And I think it's really important for the audience to pick up that nugget, right? Because, man, the story that you tell yourself can create pain in your life, can create self-sabotage in your life, can create imposter syndrome, can create that draining, toxic, catabolic energy in your life if you allow it to, right? And here you are saying how it did cause that pain. It did cause, the I'm not good enough. It did cause the self-sabotage, but you had people around you, right, that went through similar situations and they overcame that situation and they changed their life, and you latched onto that to learn from those people. That's so important for people to realize, that when you're going through something in your life and you're struggling, there's somebody out there who's gone through something similar, or maybe even, the same, and they overcame that. Those are people that you want to learn from to be able to overcome your struggles and be able to catapult into your future.
That's right.
I remember when I was struggling with drugs and alcohol, and I decided to go get sober, I had to change the people that I hung around. I had to latch on to other people.
Yes.
Found out what steps they took to get sober and stay sober. When I built myself back up to another multi-million-dollar business after destroying my business, I had to surround myself by other people who also built multi-million-dollar businesses and find out what their struggles were and how they overcame their struggles to be able to build their business up. And it's so important for the listeners out there to realize, man, you are who you surround yourself with. When you surround yourself with people who inspire you, guess what? You're going to be inspired to do more with your life. It's how it works, man.
Well,
go ahead, Doc.
That's true, bro. It's something, we have something called willpower. Willpower is very strong. Will is what make you move your finger or move your lips or walk. That's willpower. Willpower, see, have the will to do and the soul to dare is a statement. However, environment is stronger than willpower. Environment. If you're around a bunch of people that are doing nothing and going nowhere fast, and guess what? That's going to seep onto you. You're going to keep yourself stuck, or you're going to go down. You have to change your environment. The environment I changed to, I was told this by a lady, that same lady I told you about in the institution. She said, young man, come here. She said, You're not coming back. I said, I know it. But people around me were telling me, some people, we all come back. You'll be back. You watch. We all do it again. You'll be back. Guess what? I told myself, no, I won't. That's 40 years ago. How do you like me now? No, I'm not.
Let's go.
Let's go. But I changed my environment. See, I changed. I wasn't a recidivist. I changed my environment. Okay? Period. And once you change your environment, you change what you get. That's true. Change your environment. If you don't change your environment, your efforts at self-development will be stagnant. I'll never say futile. They're going to stagnate till you change, you hang around. The music you listen to, the shows you listen to, the places you visit, all that's environmental. Whatever you do habitually, you're going to be like that. That's the way that goes.
Absolutely, man. And you know, it's the old saying, right? If you go to a barbershop week after week after week, eventually you're going to get a fucking haircut. So
that's a good one.
It's also important for everybody to realize, like, you're not a victim of your circumstances and conditions. They don't control your destiny. You control your destiny. You're a spiritual being living a human experience, and you could do anything you put your mind to, but you have
Listen,
it's all about the choice.
I had friends, best friends in those days. I was a teenager, and two pair of my best friends, two of them, they were working every day, like me. They were doing their thing. I was working and going to school and everything. I wasn't a thug or nothing like that. I did something stupid one night, got a little high, got a little drunk. It was dumb, okay? And so, I had another set of friends that did stupid stuff. That night, I was with the friends that did the stupid stuff. And look what happened. I did something stupid. I had another set of friends, best friends, they don't come near stuff like that. We hung out. Nothing like that would ever happen. I spent one day, one night, or 2 nights with friends that would do the opposite. You see, that company got me in that trouble, not the other company. I love them both. One is just two are deceased and one is still alive, right? And hey, it's the environment. But it took one night changed my life at that time. I realize now that change in my life was forging me into who I am today. I do not regret it. Nobody was killed, nobody's hurt, nobody's nothing like that. But it doesn't matter. That point in my life brought me here to this conversation right now. That point brought me here to meet you. It really did. A lot of people are ashamed to share that story. I was hesitant before to tell that story. I put it in a book called Reclining Master Awaken. And I thought, why would I tell that? Why not? It's a story. Why not? Tell your story. Like movies, they write movies. Don't be ashamed. Go one, but for the grace of God, it will be that person that's judging that. I don't care if you judge that. That's part of my life, part of my story. It's going to help somebody else. You don't like it, sayonara. That's what it is, bro. It gave me self-esteem. And I'll tell you something else happened. A guy told me years later, I was in a seminar. I didn't learn this years later. This is how I became the Dean of Dynamic Results. In 2005, I was at a breakthrough session. And this guy told me in front of everybody. I was sitting in the middle of the circle. He said, you have high self-confidence, but low self-esteem. Why do you want to impress other people? Those people in that circle tore me up. Then they told me, hey, they saw the good in me and embraced me. That day I went home. I cried for 2 or 3 days. I will look into the sky, look at the sun, look at the moon. I would see the flowers and all nature. And I really deeply got into meditation and prayer. What do you mean I don't love myself? And I realized that self-esteem, self-confidence is what you can put out and show to the world. Self-esteem is the level of being, knowing who you are, loving who you are. There's no one like you, Joe. There'll never be another Joe Rivera. No one can do it like you. No one can bring it like you. See, when I speak and coach, no one can bring it like me. I don't care who you name. I'll give it to them. It's not a competition, but I'm telling you that's what I have about myself. But I feel we all have that. We all have our uniqueness. We all can be speakers and coaches, but believe me, I'll never be the speaker and coach that Joe Rivera is. I can't bring it like Joe. That's self-esteem, knowing who you are at the level of being. It's not arrogance, knowing that who you are. And when I learned that, look out. Guy told me one day, man, how tall are you? Most men are 5'9". How tall are you? I said, how tall are you? How tall is your vision? I'm not most men. I'm not average. I am what I am. Raise your vision. You may see how tall I am. You need to raise your vision, brother.
Yeah, love that, man. Love that. I'm 5'7", but man, in my vision, I'm like 7 foot tall, so I'm good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's no height to you. Right, exactly. When I see homeless people, I see them all heights, all races, all sizes. What? Hold it. No, I am what I am. If you got a problem with that, another thing I heard all my life, you talk too fast. No, maybe you listen too slow. Maybe you need to catch up. Can you keep up? I've been top producer at many companies. I've been top producer at billion-dollar companies in 5 months in a nation.
That's
Talking the way I talk. So hey, think it like
it's
that.
so. I think it's so important, man, for people to realize that you don't have to try to be like somebody else, man. No matter what industry you're in, it's cool. It's vital, as a matter of fact, to have mentors and people that you learn from. But don't try to be like that next person that's that you're learning from. You got to be yourself. God made you unique with unique gifts. Utilize those unique gifts because nobody else could utilize them like you can.
You rob the world when you do that. You rob the world when I don't see Joe Rivera. I'll give you an example. There's nothing right. When I don't see Joe Rivera, you're robbing the world. You're robbing the world. I need to see you because you have something, Joe, like you said, no one else has. Give me an example. There's nothing wrong with being a copycat. We should be copycats as long as you copy the right cat. Okay? I'll give you an example of that, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, a great Mamba in his own right. We know he copied Michael Jordan, which is a great thing, but he became the Mamba and wasn't ashamed of it. He copied somebody, but he's still him. When I see him, I see him. I know where he learned from. We all learn from somebody. We all learn from other people. All of us do.
Absolutely. That's
We all don't want to admit it. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's a perfect example. Kobe got it from Jordan and he created his own lane while doing that. Yeah, he had a lot of Jordan's moves. He had, but he had that Mamba mindset. He created his own brand.
He forged the Mamba out of that. The NBA show. He forged the Mamba out of that. What did Jordan did the same thing? They said, "You're the greatest." He said, "No, I'm not." He said, "The guys that came before me, I gotta give up to them. I learned from those guys." He said, "How can I say that? I haven't played those guys." Same thing. Picasso did the same thing. Beethoven did it. Everybody does that. Everybody of significance do that. Understand that. Nothing wrong with being a copycat. Copy the right cat. Copy the right system. Don't steal. Don't plagiarize. Give credit. Copy it.
Yes, you just said something really important. You got to make sure that you pay homage to the people you're learning from. Don't just take something and then not pay homage, man. That's disrespect. And you don't own that. You learn that and give homage from the people that you learn from.
Pay homage.
They paved the way, man. They paved the way, brother. And man, I don't want to cause an argument, but Jordan's definitely better than LeBron. Anyway, so
you won't get an argument out of me, brother. I guarantee you. You won't get an argument out of me, brother. I saw what I saw anyway. Look.
Exactly, man. Exactly, bro. I mean, I don't even think it's close, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Let me tell you 5 people I copy. Got to tell you 5 people. Muhammad Ali. I'm talking about mindset. The mindset. Bruce Lee, Michael Jordan. Okay. I love Malcolm. Okay. I love Larry Bird, his wife. Their mindset. It came to me one day about 5 months ago. I love those guys. I study them all the time. I watch YouTube videos on their philosophies all the time. And it came to me one day, I love those guys. My kids said, "Man, you realize?" I say, "Yeah, I do." And I thought about it. Why do you love those guys? You're just like that. I think like that. I'm just like that. That's why I love them. I'm just like that. I think as far as sales, I've always been top producer. I think as far as people say, well, it ain't no, we compete. We compete speaking too. Not in a bad way, but people compete. Listen, I get that Mamba mentality, Jordan mentality, Ali mentality, that Bruce Lee mentality. You ain't beating me. No, you're not outdoing me at anything. That when it comes to speaking and coaching and all that, I think that way about myself. I don't think I'm better than you.
I think along with the mindset that people have to realize that's so important is confidence. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe.
You know, I call that, Joe. I go one of my talks. I call that the confidence to command. When you have the confidence to command, How you think Mozart did his first composition at 4 years old?
That's
I
right.
think Colonel Sanders became a millionaire at 65, a billionaire at 88. Don't mention age to me. That's just another reason to procrastinate. Don't tell me when I was your age, if I'd have known this, I'd have done so and so. Well, if you're his age and would have done it 30 years ago, you know it now, then do it now.
That's right. That's right. No better time than the present to start, man. No better time than the present to start.
Now.
That perfect timing is an illusion, yeah. There's no such thing as perfection, man. It's about progressing every single day. Doc, man, I'd love for you to tell the audience, what you got going on now and where they could find you.
You can find me very easily. First of all, I'm going to announce I have a podcast launching May 5th called Dynamic Results on Fire.
Let's go.
Because everything is a result of something. Everything is a result of something. I'll be getting into some deep dive things into people, into life, into entrepreneurs. You can also get on my calendar. You want 30 minutes complimentary strategic planning, 30 minutes. You go to coach.thedeanofdynamicresults.com, coach.thedeanofdynamicresults.com. Now, I will not try to sell you anything on that call. You cannot buy anything from me. You cannot get on my coaching schedule as a client. After this, if we do a second call, you cannot buy anything from me. Here's why. I need a deep dive into who you are to know if I can assist you. If I can't assist you, I don't want it. Because you make a brother look bad if you don't succeed. If you don't do the work, I sure don't want it. I'm trying to look good. I want you to do the work and succeed, so I won't even take you. So get on my calendar at coach.thedeanofdynamicresults.com and get 30 minutes complimentary coaching session. Relax. You can't pay me if you wanted to. I don't want your money. I want to know who you are. I'm a doctor. I want to diagnose situations if I can help you. Number two, you can go to learn.tamirkadri.com. It's all in the chat. Learn.tamirkadri.com and download my free checklist. It'll give you a checklist. It says, don't play yourself, play lotto. That's the name of the checklist. 7 empowerment keys to self-empowerment. 7 keys to self-empowerment. That's all free stuff I'm giving you. Remember, don't play yourself, play lotto. Download that checklist, and let's rock.
Love that, man. Don't play yourself, play lotto, man. That's great. That a few questions that I ask all my guests, man. The first, what does the word purpose mean to you?
To me, purpose means power, urging results, peaceful, opposing self-sabotage, and do it eternally. I just made the acronym out of that word on the fly. That's what I do. See, that's what I do. I've been given the ability, I thank God, to take a phrase or a sentence and run with it. It has to be repeated. I don't know what I just said, but I made the acronym out of that.
That acronym is powerful, brother. Powerful, man. I love it. And what is the word, when you hear the word reforge, what comes to mind?
Reforge is telling me, it's saying remake, remold, wake up, remove, make your life, remake your life.
Yes.
Make your life. In other words, you get a chance to go back to that canvas and paint. You see, every day you get a chance to paint. When you wake up, you forgive another day to paint on that canvas. See, if a Brian lady named Helen Keller can do it, born blind and deaf at 5 years old until she was 5, born blind and deaf, okay? And when she was 5, I think she was completely blind and deaf, pardon me. She became patron of the blind of the world, met with several presidents, kings, and queens. Don't tell me what you can't do, because I have some stories to tell you. I'm telling you about a lady named C.J. Walker that was born in, I think, late 1800s to 1900s, developed a makeup line and became a multi-millionaire during the days when a black person looked at a white person, they would hang you. So don't tell me about race, age, or who can stop you. Sure, there's society things that against you, but you got that mind on fire, that dynamic results on fire. There's nothing can stop you. Here's why nothing would ever stop me. It's, well, what if you die in the process? Well, I'll just be dead then. I will not stop my dreams and goals. I'm sorry. We're here to achieve goals. That's what we do. Reforge is the perfect name of this podcast, and I love it.
Oh, man, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. And, man, it's so important for people to realize that, and there's such a blessing in being able to open your eyes in the morning and live another day, that you have an opportunity to create your own destiny. I hope every listener, viewer on here, I hope y'all are saying thank you as soon as you open those eyes, because that's a gift, man. You get to reforge your life from yesterday, from the past. The minute you open your eyes, you get to create your own destiny and continue living on. And it's such a blessing, yeah. Doc, there's somebody out there today that is there's somebody out there today that's struggling and they don't know how to reforge their life. They don't have the tools. They don't know where to start, whether it's in their business, their personal life, their finances, their health, their relationships. What's one piece of advice that you could give someone today that's looking to reforge their life?
First, I'll ask you to hop on my calendar. I'll tell you why. At coach.thedeanofdynamicresults.com. I'll say it again, coach.thedeanofdynamicresults.com for a 30 minutes consultation. Like I said, there's nothing to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you. You can't give me your money. I want to know what's in your head particularly. I can give you a general answer. That's general, but you're not a general person. You're a particular person with particular needs and concerns. And if I could assist you, I will let you know. I would talk to you a couple of times, 2 or 3 times to know if I can assist you or not, tell you a particular situation. But in general, what you want to do is it's your habits. What habits are you having? What habits do you have? Your thoughts and willpower. Your habits, not willpower, self-analysis. The habits you have, good or bad, are going to always win. So your habits are like race horses with the binders on. They're going to take you to their habit results. If they're bad habits, you're going to get bad results. If you're good at, you're going to get good results. So the key is changing the habits you have, the habits and how you get up in the morning, how you show up for the game every day, who you talk to, who you're hanging around. Are you making the calls every day? Are you have the dedication and discipline to do what you got to do every day? The next thing is your thoughts. Or the first thing actually is your thoughts. What are you thinking about? What you think about, you bring about. The thoughts you think determine the results you drink. And then self-analysis. Are you analyzing yourself every day? How did my day go? Get a little notepad and start saying, what did I do? If you set a goal, write that down and look at it at the end of the day and say, did I do this? If you didn't do it, don't start all over again. Don't say, I got to start all over again. I had 7 days. No. Don't throw the baby out the wash water. You did that day. You didn't do that thing. Keep moving on till you finish the 7 days. Don't throw it out and start all over. That's a big mistake. Keep going forward. So what? You fail. Big deal. Babies fall all the time.
That's right.
Okay, are you not stronger than a baby? Get back up. Get your ass back up and keep moving.
Yeah, man. Listen, man, failure is part of success, man. Fail stands for first attempt in learning. Don't stop when you fail, man. Just realize
wow,
it's learning, man. I'm going to say that one more time, man. Fail stands first attempt in learning, y'all.
Love it. Love it.
Man. Doc, man, this has been awesome, but I have one last question before we jump off. What's one thing that the audience doesn't know about you that you enjoy doing for fun?
I enjoy one-on-one communication. For fun. One-on-one communication. I love dialogue, meaningful dialogue. I love it. I'll do it for free. See what I do? I do it for free. I do it so well, people pay me well to do it.
Love it.
I love this. I love communication. I love helping people grow and tell our stories and learn from each other. That may seem cheesy, but that's true. That's what I'm put here to do. That's what I am. I am that I am. I am that. You are that. We're all that.
It ain't cheesy at all, man. I think that the viewers and listeners need to understand how powerful communication is. And communication is one of the most important pillars to building any relationship, whether it's with your significant other, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your kids, your business partner. You're always going to need communication, man. Doc, thank you so much for coming through, brother. I knew that the energy was going to be high, man, and we took it to another level, brother. I really appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man. I love to have you as a guest on my podcast, too. That End Results on Fire. I got to have you, bro.
Yeah, we're going to do it, brother. We're going to do it. We'll talk about it. You got my number. I got yours, and let's make it happen, brother. Let's continue creating impact together. And for all the viewers and listeners out there, man, thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for checking it out, listening, watching. And please don't forget LFSS. Like, follow, subscribe, and most importantly, share the episode, man. Because there's somebody out there today that's not watching the episode and they're looking to reforge their life and they don't have the tools. They don't know where to start, whether it's in their business, their life, their finances, their health. And you sharing this episode can help them reforge their life, y'all. So please don't forget to share. Stay productive, stay profitable, and stay blessed, y'all.
You've been listening to Reforge Your Life with your host, Joe Rivera. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. To learn more about Joe Rivera and how he can help you or your organization reforge your life and regain your place at the top, head on over to withjoerivera.com and follow Joe on all social platforms. The Reforge Your Life podcast was produced by Thrive Loud Productions. Thanks for listening.